Hi guys, how are you all doing? So I'm back. So I'll not go with the book first. We are on the natural disasters of chapter 13, 76, page number 76. So I won't go with the book now. I'm going to just explain you what are the basics about natural disasters. What are natural disasters actually, and how does it happen? The main thing which we have here, the first one is and we can say that natural disasters happen by natural forces. These disasters spoil our lives, they destroy, and we don't know how to tackle with it. When they strike, they have it. It's naturally happening. No one does it. No one causes it. So it happens. You can say that it happens on itself. A natural disaster is major a bad event caused by natural processes of the earth, consisting of floods, hurricane, tornadoes, volcanic eruption, earthquakes, tsunami, and other geological processes which happen. Often human activities also can cause natural disasters such as climate change and deforestation. It happens, and a natural disaster causes lot of loss of life or property damage, leaves some economic damage after costing a lot of millions and millions of rupees. Okay, so this is all about the natural disaster which we know. Okay, so if we go with that, the first part which we have is called the earthquakes. Now, what is an earthquake? Earthquakes happens when two large pieces of earth crust suddenly slip. This causes the shock waves to shake the surface of the earth in the form of an earthquake. Understood? Now, which is the crust of the earth? This is the crust of the earth. Now, crust is below. The crust of the earth, there are different type of layers. I won't go directly into it. It's going to take a long time for you to understand. So for class 5, its basic information is when there is suddenly slip, there are plates underneath the earth. They are called tectonic plates. Now when they move, they can cause a major major movement, which is not going to be a very good thing. Okay, so that can be a problem. When things happen, we don't come to know what's going to happen and we are out of it. We don't know actually what's happening. So that's the main problem when earthquakes happen. We can, after it happens, we know how it happened, isn't it? But we can say an earthquake is coming, that also we can't say, but we can assume that there must be something how to explain it to you. I'm just thinking, like it happened yesterday in Delhi also. Okay, in Delhi, not actually yesterday, I'm very sorry, it's not yesterday, it was last week. It was last Thursday. Yes, last Thursday or Wednesday evening there was also a tremor which the whole Delhi felt it. So that's called an earthquake. An earthquake is a quake. Suddenly tremor or trembler, everything starts shaking, is the shaking of the surface of the earth, resulting a sudden release of energy in the earth's surface of the earth, in the lithosphere, and creates a seismic waves. Okay. Now earthquakes can range in size from those are so weak that they cannot be felt also to those violent enough to project objects and people into air and wreak destruction across entire cities. This is the activity of an earthquake. Sometimes it will throw up people, it will break down people, it can do anything, and sometimes it is not felt. Only you will get a shake of the earth, and that shaking of the earth is very dangerous. What happens? There are plates underneath. When the epicenter, that's the The epicenter is the place, suppose this is the earth, okay, and we go down to a point where the plates are. So the shaking of the plates, that point, above that point is the earth's surface. That is called the epicenter of the earthquake. So that we come to know how much it's actually happening there. Okay. Now tectonic earthquakes occur, tectonic, which I said tectonic. So those are the plates which move. Okay. Like there is sufficient stored elastic strain energy to derive fracture propagation. Okay. So then suddenly either it's going to move this way, sideways, it can go on X and move, it's going to like a twist, or it can go down, or it can thrust up. When it goes down, things go apart. When it goes up, it picks up everything and then drops it. So that is like an elastic which actually takes place. It's a long explanation which you will not be able to understand in class 5, which I don't want to go earlier. If for class 7, when you are in class 7, I'll explain it, or in class 6, I'll go into it more properly. So I'll just give you the basics. Earthquake happens when suddenly two large pieces of earth crust suddenly slip. This causes shock waves to shake the earth of the earth in the form of an earthquake. Basic thing. Where does it happen? Generally, where does an earthquake happen? It happens usually occur on the edges of large sections of the earth's crust called tectonic plates. These plates slowly move over a long period of time. Sometimes the edges, which are called fault lines, can get stuck, but the plates keep moving. Pressure slowly starts to build when the edges are stuck, and once the pressure gets strong enough, the plates will suddenly move, causing an earthquake. Plates are moving underneath the earth. So this edge and this edge has got stuck together. They are still moving. So this wanting to go somewhere else, this is wanting to go somewhere else. Then the pressure builds, and then suddenly they have an action, and it causes. Generally, before and after a large earthquake, there will be more smaller earthquakes. The ones that happen before are called foreshocks. The ones happen after are called the aftershocks. Scientists actually don't know really if an earthquake is a foreshock until the bigger earthquake occurs. So scientists cannot tell you. Shock waves from an earthquake that travel through the ground are called seismic waves. The shock waves which are happening, they are all waves. They are most powerful at the center of the earthquake, but they travel through much of the earth and back to the surface. They move quickly at 20 times the speed of sound. They'll go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, it goes and cracks, it's going to crack it from the epicenter of the earth. It goes faster than sound. Scientists used seismic waves to measure how big an earthquake is. They use a device which is called a seismograph to measure the size of the waves. The size of the waves is called the magnitude. That's only after the earthquake will occur, not before that. Like to tell the strength of an earthquake, scientists used a scale called the moment magnitude scale, or the MMS. It is used to be called the Richter scale. The large number of the MMS scale, the larger the number of the MMS scale, the larger the earthquake. You usually won't notice an earthquake unless it measures at least 3 on the MMS scale. There are some examples I want to say. 4.0 would shake your house as if a large truck were passing close by. Some people do not notice. We don't understand, oh, something has gone by. 6.0, stuff will fall. Everything will start falling. Walls in some houses may crack and windows break. Pretty much everyone near the center will feel this one. Near that point, Now, this is the earth place. Okay, it happens the earthquake will take point at the hypocenter, that's below where the earthquake is moving, the plates are moving, and the epicenter is the point on the earth where it's going to happen, where it cracks. That's the epicenter. That's the main point. The earthquake will be strongest at this point on the surface, at the epicenter of it. And 7, weaker buildings will collapse and cracks will occur on bridges and on the street. 8.0, many buildings and bridges fall down, large cracks in the earth. 9.0 and up, above 9 points, everything demolished. Everything will finish. You won't come to know what is happening. Understand? So it's like that. So epicenters and hypocenters, the place where the earthquake starts just below the surface of the earth is called the hypocenter. The place directly above that point of the hypocenter is called the epicenter. The earthquake will be the strongest at this point, as I told you. Can scientists predict earthquakes? No. Those are natural. It's a natural disaster. No one can say what's going to happen. When will it happen? Or it's coming. It does not say tsunamis, floods, and volcanic eruptions. They don't say and come. It just happens. Unfortunately, scientists cannot predict about the earthquakes. The best they can do, you know what, is to point out where the fault lines. So we know where earthquakes are likely to occur. Where there are faults in the earth, so they will not go around. But in your area or in India where it can happen, they try to find. But it's not so easy. When it's going to happen, no one knows. Suppose it's going to happen there, that's a faulty place, but it's going to happen somewhere else, you won't know. Delhi, what's Delhi got to do with it? Delhi's had a tremor. The largest earthquake ever recorded in the world was in Chile, 1960. It measured 9.6 on the Richter scale. The largest in the US was 9.2 magnitude in Alaska, 1964. They can cause huge wave in the oceans called tsunamis. You know, if you see a tsunami wave in front of you, you will die. Movement of tectonic plates has formed large mountain ranges like the Himalaya and the Andes. How did the Himalaya mountain come? No one went with a hammer, and the early people, they didn't take hammer, chisel, stone, tools and made the mountain. This is when the earth moves up and down, tectonic plate moves, something comes up or something goes down, that's when the mountain ranges come out. Earthquakes will have no weather. It's not for winter, not for summer, not for rainy season. It just happens anytime. It does not have any weather. Like Alaska is the most seismically active state and has more large earthquakes than California. That's in America. That's the basic information I gave you. So in the next class on Tuesday, I'm going to read the chapter for you, and I'll read the earthquakes for you so that it will be easier for you to understand, and we'll do it then. So we'll take it slowly, we'll not go fast. So you can just read the earthquake part for yourselves, and I'll come back to you on Tuesday, right? So today is the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th or 16th I guess, most probably. So it's okay. So I'll meet you then. You just read this, don't have to do anything. You just remember you have to do the question answers of the chapter 12 one of the communication part, and modern techniques of communication, or communication and modern techniques, whatever the chapter's name is. So you have to do that and get it done. So by the time you are, just read through this and try to understand the earthquake part only. If you can learn some things by heart, what's an epicenter, what's an hypocenter. In the book it was given about Nepal 7.98 which happened. So I'm not reading it right now. So I'll read it and do it on Tuesday with you. So it'll be easier. We just take it slow. You read first, see if you have any problems. So when I start reading and explaining, then you can come to know. And make sure you keep your earphones on, and so you'll be able to listen to it properly. So guys, please do take care. Class 5, still I'm saying once again that I'm new to you, I don't know all of you actually basically, so I'll be coming to know you all very soon. And please feel free, don't hesitate to just jot down anything you want on the group or on YouTube. So stay at home, stay safe, respect your parents, take care of yourselves, and be safe. And little bit of naughtiness is allowed. Be at home and play, and respect your parents, always do that. And what else to say, do whatever you want after your studies. Take care, bye bye, God bless, see you on Tuesday, bye.